Hey soldiers, gasoline is going up, which is going to make everything else more expensive. Everything shipped on a plane, an ocean-going freighter, train, or of course a truck, or maybe the little car from Laser Ship that brings things from some warehouse to your house after you've ordered online. All that is going to become more expensive for two reasons. Number one, OPEC just said, screw you, America. We're going to cut production and you'll just have to deal with it. All right. Pretty bad news here. Goldman Sachs is actually predicting that oil is going to hit $100 per barrel on these cuts, which of course will raise the price for you when you go to fill up at the local gas pump, right? So running around town to take the kids to soccer practice, your commute to work, all of this. And we're also dealing with the inflation that's already on the table, okay? So it's getting kind of hectic out there, right? And to boot, we got old Joey B, our commander-in-chief. He's got us in a situation where we got about, 47 days? So less than 2 months of oil in our strategic reserves. All right, guys, let's start with the strategic reserve. I want to show you why this is happening. Now, that strategic reserve was initially created to make sure our military had a fallback for energy in the event that some country decided they wanted to act stupid. And we said, hey, we're not going to be without. We're going to be energy independent. Well, that's apparently not so much of a priority anymore. And I haven't yet seen an Abrams tank that has a windmill attached that makes it go. The cost of gasoline is on the rise as crude oil prices have climbed steadily to 10-month highs. But it may be difficult for the U.S. government to ease the burden on households. Listen, guys, the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, it's actually at its lowest level since 1983. We've had record drawdowns. Gas prices are climbing once again. Of course, they're topping that decade high for early September and increasing the financial burden on U.S. households. At $3.81, gas prices are higher than at this time last year. Give me some info in the comments. What are you seeing? Let me know what part of the country you're in, or the world for that matter, and let me know how much the gasoline costs you, okay? I want to know that. And also want to know how much does, not just per gallon, let me know how much it takes to fill your tank, all right? Every week. How much does it take? All right, so this is the second highest price on record for this time of year. That's according to AAA. They've got records going back to the mid-90s. That's the result of a steady increase in oil prices in recent weeks, which have risen to the highest levels in 10 months due to production cuts by OPEC and dwindling inventories in the U.S. Prices could climb higher still after Saudi Arabia announced Tuesday it's extending its latest production cut equal to 1 million barrels per day of supply until at least December. Now look, the United States of America is not an energy poor nation. We have enormous reserves of natural gas. They actually say that we are the Saudi Arabia of natural gas, okay? We have oil, all right? We got hydro, okay? We got it all. But there is a reluctance to use what we have to push our economy forward and thereby help the tax-paying citizens, do more than live to work, right? Because of the green agenda. Now, I am one of the biggest environmentalists you'd ever want to meet. But when we look at the people that are touting environmentalism in this country, in this administration, John Kerry's family owns a private jet. If you were serious about what you're saying, you'd sell that jet. Or better yet, you just scrap it. You'd send it to the boneyard just to sit there because you wouldn't want someone else flying around in it because you said that my SUV is bad and I need to control my carbon footprint. But you think that I'm stupid and I'm going to fall for John Kerry saying he planted a tree and that's a fair exchange for all of the carbon he emits by jet setting around the world when he could sit with his counterparts in foreign countries on a Zoom meeting. Okay, the technology is there, right? And you're not talking about anything that's top secret, John Kerry. Not about climate change, you're not. So you don't need to be face to face with these people. So we've got an administration that doesn't practice what it preaches. You know, what else is new? So I don't buy it, all right? They're sacrificing this economy on the altar of this silly ass green agenda. Sorry, we are not going to power this nation in terms of its needs today off of these alternative sources. All right, let alone grow the economy. And that's another reason why the BRICS nations they have this schism that's developed because they're like, hey, we're going to continue to use oil. Okay, we're not going to put ourselves in a position. This is China talking. We're not going to put ourselves in a position where we can't feed our people. All right, because the United States has gone off the deep end and is trying to power their society with unicorn juice or what have you. So this is where we are, guys. Goldman Sachs is further, they're saying that oil is going to hit $100 a barrel on the OPEC cuts. And this is going to definitely drive prices up for you through at least December. They may extend that. Even when Biden visited the kingdom of Saudi Arabia early in his term, the crown prince, he was very non-committal on any long-term increases in supply. He gave him a token increase and then he took it back a couple of months later, okay? Because at the end of the day, the United States is telling them, hey, we don't want oil. We're not even going to drill for our own oil. We're moving to green energy. So if you have oil and that's your main export, and you're hearing one of your top buyers say, oh yeah, we're going to be moving away from that, then what would you do? You would make new friends, right? That still want to use oil, okay? Because they're smart enough to understand that the technology is not there yet in terms of powering a society, especially one as large as China, okay, with these alternative sources. I don't know, but how many solar panels would you need to replace what you get from fossil fuels? The whole damn planet would be a solar panel, okay? I know they've got 2 solar fields on farmland where I live right now. I don't know how much, what capacity they power, but I do know this. We were on that at one point, and my bill was much higher. We were on the power company's solar, and the bill was higher. So I switched back. I said, I don't want that. Okay? This thing has never been about saving us money. It's been all about, this pie in the sky stuff and people getting paid like for Solyndra and setting up these alternative energy companies and doing this arbitrage, kickbacks to politicians and that sort of thing. It's never been about us, all right? Because notice, they've never marketed it. They've never come out, the government and the powers that be have never come out and marketed this thing such that, but you're going to save money. In fact, when you hear these ads about solar panels on, YouTube and whatnot, look, by the time you finish paying for the solar panels, God, it's like 20 years later. All right, so what are you really saving? Oh, I'm selling power back to the power company. Whoop-de-freaking-do. Who cares if you still have tens of thousands of dollars owed on the panels? All right? A panel that is being updated constantly. So some people got in on this early and have the equivalent of an 8-track tape on their roof because the technology has moved on. Okay? I ride around here on some of these farms and I see people that had put solar panels up early. They're cracked, they're broken, they're obviously not operative anymore. Okay? Look, guys, you got another headwind coming up here. So, you know what they say. Check your tires, inflate them properly, save on gas. To the extent that you can eliminate trips by working from home, do it. But this is one that we can't really avoid price hikes in gasoline, because not only do they affect us personally, but they also feed into everything that we buy. Okay. And it's not like we can go out and store up gasoline. Okay. Very few Americans can do that unless you have a vast property with the proper equipment. Some farms do have that equipment on them. Some police stations and fire stations also have that. But still, you're using it all the time. So it's not like you're going to, avoid this forever. So that's where we are. Inflation is getting brutal. Okay. We talk about some solutions to that. Check out this video. Peter Schiff is out there. He's basically saying, again, Fed can't stop inflation. Fed can't stop a recession at this point. Guys, I'll talk to you soon.